now recording.
Man, do I love
Okay.
that voice, that Craig voice. It's just so natural and
He's on point. He never skips a beat. It's the same.
yeah, he's all business, that Craig.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. All right. Welcome everybody to the January 3rd, 2023 Aladdin Dow Community Call.
Do you mean 2024?
Oh, I did it already.
You did it already. I just noticed in our agenda notes. I fixed it.
Thanks, buddy.
Yeah. Boy,
Oh,
would have been nice if I could have corrected you on that before the start of the recording.
Well, that's all right. You know, at least I don't write checks anymore, really. So
Yeah.
that's bound to happen in some form or fashion.
Fair enough.
Okay, well, we've got a couple of things to talk about here.
We do. I mean, it's been quiet. It's been holidays, and I hope everybody. By the way, I hope everybody online has had an awesome holiday. I've been running my mouth off for quite a while about my stuff, but I hope you guys all had a good break. Whatever you were doing on the break, if you indeed took a break.
Yeah.
You had a good one, K-Mets?
Yeah, I had a good one, man. You know, I got to spend my New Year's Eve, New Year's Day with CryptoVestor and Boz, and
really,
we did a deep dive on Clever, man. And I tell you what, man, Boz is he's a real sharp guy and did some really cool modeling on it. And maybe at some point he can kind of share his findings of some of it. But I don't.
Yeah, always interested.
I think like one of the things that like we kind of came away from is that like Clever is just quite amazing, and like and I think a lot of times we don't adequately convey like how incredible like getting leverage on Convex is, and so and just like the compounding factor of it, and so that's
Clever,
what I did for New Year's. It was really
Clever
cool.
Suffers from the fact that it's very clever, but also there's complex. So much. It's complex. The way that Clever works is not crazy complex, I don't think, but I think the struggle is that it's based on this tower of complexity. Like how long did it once you started looking at DeFi, how long did it take you to grok like Curve and then Convex, and now adding this layer on top, it's awesome. Like, don't get me wrong. I spent like many hours, writing about Clever and talking about it. And so once you've been in it for that long, you kind of, sometimes I think we miss a little bit of the complexity that's there just in kind of like needing to be able to see the big picture and how it works. But once you do, it's just such a light bulb, right? Like,
yeah. And it was kind of fun to watch the light bulb go on for those guys and get
it's my favorite thing in DeFi.
Yeah,
my favorite thing in DeFi is like helping people to like see how something works, and then it's this like the possibilities kind of.
Yeah,
love it.
Yeah.
So topics like agenda wise, we're actually not starting with Clever. Actually, we don't have a lot to talk about Clever, but what we can say, since we got organically onto the subject, Clever's coming up. I think that Clever's been, I would say, backburnered, but like a lot of Aladdin stuff, we build these things to be as autonomous as possible, right? We build these things to just work, right? Like that's kind of the whole magic of DeFi, is that you don't like need a person there sort of taking care of it. And so the nice thing that we can do is, as long as the machinery is running and we're keeping an eye to make sure that's doing, we can focus our the Eye of Sauron somewhere else, as it has been on F of X for some time, without Clever languishing in any way, since it's working and doing everything that it's supposed to do. And but that having been said, we are looking at coming back to Clever this year. Roadmap alpha here, coming back to Clever this year, and looking at some interesting ways to get it playing with LSDs, with ETH, and there's no details to talk about yet, but some stuff is coming, and because Clever feels relatively complex, it's really like a cheat code for people who can take the time to like grok it,
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So
there's I mean, kind of the sky's the limit, really, with Clever, and so.
Well, and then the The other thing that's kind of cool, especially with respect to the CVX part of it, is that Clever has been a real, shall we say, a foot in the door for the Aladdin ecosystem into Curve, because of the way that that Clev holders control the non-gauge governance votes of the CVX that's currently locked in. Clev holders are now like serious players in the Curve ecosystem, to the point where, like, there's, we have, shall we say, very high level requests coming through to remind our community to vote on certain initiatives by the big players. We're kind of, it has given Aladdin a seat at the big table. That was one of the big things that Clever enabled for the Aladdin ecosystem, which I think is huge, and it's only getting bigger.
Yeah. So keep your eyes peeled, guys. Keep your eyes peeled. So that's kind of clever. So we've got some stuff cooking in the background, but we'll let you know more as it develops.
That's right.
But kind of the big sort of like actionable item that happened yesterday is with Concentrator and ASD CRV, the compounder. It's now fully liquid.
That's right. Yeah, there was a short withdrawal period for getting ASD Curve out of the compounder, and that was down to when we first launched ASD Curve. There were some things up in the air about how the governance power limitations were going to be flowed through from SD Curve into ASD Curve. For anybody who is kind of like aware of the situation, when with SD Curve, there was a lot of discussion for their liquid locked curve. It's important that people can't mint a whole bunch in order to get a huge amount of curve governance power, and then sort of like instantly dump it, or like pull a whole bunch out of the liquidity pool and then sell it back, and basically having paid nothing, steal a bunch of governance power. So the idea now, StakeDAO introduces or has this like a 30-day linearly increasing governance power. So basically, if you were to mint some SD Curve today, it would take 30 days for you to enjoy the full governance power of that SD Curve. And so because that has been, and basically that what was not clear in the beginning with ASD Curve was how that constraint was going to flow through to ASD Curve. So that's all been clarified now. And what it means is that and the way that it's been clarified is that it's taken care of on the SD Curve side, which means that for ASD Curve, there's no reason to have this governance lock. And so we can make it, and indeed did yesterday, make it fully liquid.
Yeah. So that like enables some like, one of the things that I always really like about the A tokens, the compounders, is I sort of like my mental framework for them is it can kind of, you could basically think of them as like wrap stake ETH, essentially. And ultimately they can be, composable tokens, I mean, useful in like a money market, borrow lending. There's so much that's possible with them. And
yeah, man, you said it. It's composability.
We've really only scratched the surface, and hopefully this will be and we've got some stuff working behind the scenes as well to kind of like scratch that surface a little deeper with ASD CRV and some other compounder vaults. So we've got some stuff cooking that will be coming out shortly with that.
Yeah, absolutely. But you said it, like that's the main thing, that getting rid of any sort of friction on the way in or out poses a challenge for composability, right? And so with going fully liquid on ASD Curve, I mean, it's almost as big a deal, not quite, but it's a big deal, almost like when we went liquid on the rebalance pools, right? It's just it's really important for like ease of composability.
Yeah. So there you go. It's live. It's active. You're welcome.
I say that to people a lot more than they say thank you to me. And, I find it very funny. They don't always, but, what's more important?
Yeah.
Entertaining others or entertaining myself? Well, I've made my choice, K-Meds.
Well, at least you know one person appreciates your humor, right?
Exactly. If I don't laugh at my jokes, how could they even be funny in the first place?
Exactly. Precisely. Okay.
Concentrator. Yeah. So liquid ASD curve. Love it. Now let's see here. Let's punt f of x to the end because we've kind of got like a sort of a meandering chat there, as opposed to a couple of solid things, and then a couple of just sort of like let's talk about the roadmap stuff. The ALD cap, all of that is going through. We are planning on swapping that over to 150 million as soon as the devs can take a breath to do that. I don't believe it's a here, stand by before I say something that I am not correct about. But I don't believe that it is a like a huge deal. But it takes some, like the devs are going like absolutely crazy. Like we're already getting like 5x the work that we could ever reasonably expect as a maximum. So we'll squeeze it in ASAP. It's definitely on the way. And but again, because of the big stuff that we're rolling on f of x, it'll be slotted in as soon as possible. So it's a soon TM, and we will let you know as soon as it does happen.
Yeah, and then just the other details in terms of things like as far as the the remaining tokens in the VE tokenomics, we'll roll those out as well once sort of the bandwidth is there to address it. So.
Yeah, and I think that this ongoing ALD story. I think that once that 150 mil cap is in place, I think we then return back to the initial. Like we have the roadmap is pretty much is pretty well defined, right? Thanks to the work of Tao and well, mostly Tao, but also others in the early days. We know where we want to go next. We're looking at obviously implementing VE for ALD and getting rid of the old rebase system, and that is all coming. But that'll be basically the very next thing. And so what we'll probably do again is we'll probably post a proposal on Snapshot, like a quick summary on the forum and a proposal on Snapshot for sort of phase 2 of the ALD overhaul once that 150 mil cap has been executed.
Yep. So there you go. That's kind of like where things stand with ALD and Aladdin.
Yeah. All right. The new Aladdin protocol, CryptoVestor. Don't know what you mean, man. What new Aladdin protocol?
Yeah, Who knows? Who knows? 2024 could be quite exciting. You never know.
2024 could be, but listen, I don't know. You guys are like hyenas. There's like f of x, isn't it? Do you know what? Concentrator's a new protocol. It's brand new. It's only been running a few months.
Oh boy, there's never enough alpha for these.
It's never enough. Never enough for this group.
Well, I tell you what, maybe we can kind of talk about FX and kind of refocus here.
Let's do that, because this is a big one, and I want to like f of x is in this like this bootstrap / development world that is such an exciting time for our project. And well, let's talk about. Well, hold on a second before I get ahead of myself. Let's talk about the bonus farming event. How's that going?
Still cooking, man. It is still cooking, and you know what? I need to look here and see.
It looks like 30 current APRs reported on the site, and again, there's discussions about what that translates into. But yeah, current APR is still north of 30 reported on the site. So lots of capital in that rebalance pool, enjoying huge stablecoin yields, which is just like, come on.
And it's interesting because basically crypto decided to completely puke everywhere this morning, and
I noticed that because some random analyst says, "Oh, Bitcoin's not going to get any ETFs, so it's going to be rejected," and then the block that sterling journalistic endeavor, the block immediately posted that as well.
Yeah, and the reason I bring that up is just because obviously with downturns, your concern is like, okay, well, how's the system doing? How's the collateral ratio looking? And it's like FX is just sailing along, man. Like the collateral ratio is just it's really high, and the rebalance pool's like not even a hint of being touched or going into stability mode or anything like that. And so it's really cool to see that, like, ETH and Bitcoin can just dump like 6, 7, 8%, and the protocol just keeps on keeping.
To paraphrase Lethal Weapon, if you remember that movie with Emilio Estevez,
yes.
It's gonna take a lot more than a couple of car bombs to stop us.
Emilio Estevez was in Lethal Weapon?
Oh, maybe I got the wrong guy. I might be thinking. Yeah, no, he was Lethal Weapon. No, Loaded Weapon. Loaded Weapon. Not Lethal Weapon. Loaded Weapon. That was the spoof.
That was the spoof.
The spoof, and Samuel Jackson and Emilio Estevez. Do you remember that? I was such a
man.
Such a good. They're like leaving a building. They're like investigating something, and the guy goes to unlock his car with the remote, and it explodes. Then the other guy goes to unlock his car with the remote, and it explodes. Or the valet gets in and it explodes. And one guy says, "It's going to take a lot more than a couple of car bombs to get us off this case." And then Samuel Jackson goes, "Well, not a hell of a lot more."
Man, your memory of obscure early 90s comedies is pretty good there.
It's just, yeah, well, I mean, there's some things that stick in my brain, very little.
It doesn't translate to drone piloting, is basically what you're saying.
Well, no, give me a break. I'm brand new at this.
Well, there you go. Well, FX is just kicking along, and the rebalance pool farming is still going until mid-January. So for the bonus FX in, so take advantage of that.
Yeah, take advantage of that, and that's moving everybody into the new the kind of the up to date rebalance pool. And holy cow, it's worked. Total deposited value in the deprecated old zero now earning nothing rebalance pool is 135K. Yeah. So like compared to what do we have, like 6.6 million?
Yeah, it's quite a bit.
So 2% remains. So wow, great job everybody. And I mean, I suppose I shouldn't be surprised that our users are paying attention, but that's great. That is great. We're in the new rebalance pool and we're farming it. I've lost my agenda, K-Mets.
Oh dear. Oh no.
Because I've got the IMDb page for Loaded Weapon open.
Folks, we weren't joking around when we said that we were going to be wandering all over here. So
yeah,
it's what we do best.
Okay, when FXUSD are we close? Well, okay, so just a second here. FXUSD is this is where we mentioned that the devs are going like crazy on FXUSD. So postponed to 2025. Stark, you're not helping.
Yeah. Be nice.
You're gonna give CryptoVestor an aneurysm, and we need him.
Yeah,
we need him real bad. It is. So we will be sharing timelines a little bit more precisely as they sort of get more solidified. But right now we're in the dev phase, which is, again, the devs are going like absolute mad. We have the best dev team, by the way, and
you're incredible. Yeah.
Yeah, and so I think in the next week or two we'll be able to give you pretty much a little bit more solid of a timeline. But we've got to complete dev work as quick as possible, which should happen. Well, I won't even say anything because I'm not the right guy. But we're going to complete the dev work as quick as possible, and then we'll have a couple of weeks, I would think, in audit. So we're looking at I would think we're looking at some number of weeks down the road. But listen, we've got a lot to do in the meantime. Like, I say we as in, us on our end, but also you guys, right? Also the boosters. So the team is also kind of working to getting back up to speed after the holiday, and we're going to try to get some hard documents out for you guys. Maybe as soon as like next week, maybe middle late next week, we'll try to have some stuff to share so you can start to get a sense of exactly how the implementation is going to behave, what to expect. We're going to try to obviously we've got to look at risk, sort of the like caps, the minting caps for FXUSD behind the scenes. We've got a little bit of homework to do there as well. So
yeah. In fact, yeah, hey, CryptoVestor, do you want to like unmute yourself and maybe talk a little bit about some possibilities with PYUSD?
Yeah, sure. Absolutely. Good morning, guys.
hey man, and your audio is good again.
Yeah, you're
That's
awesome.
perfect. Yeah, so we are in touch with the Trident Group, and we're about to talk to them about Clever to see if they might be interested in doing. They need voting power.
Okay, what's the Trident group? Can you?
The Trident Group is working on the liquidity for PayPal for PYUSD, and so they're the group kind of behind this, covertly kind of working on behind the scenes, trying to get bribes in and working on deepening the liquidity for PYUSD across all of DeFi. And so I gave an intro to the lead guy there, to the Prisma people, and they want to do a pairing with MKUSD for Prisma. And I'm kind of hoping that once we get FXUSD up, and it has a little bit of TVL behind it, I'm pretty sure that the guys would be very receptive to do a curve pair with FXUSD. So that's kind of exciting. Be interesting to see if we could do that.
Ooh, boy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I mean, that would be very interesting.
That would be pretty huge because the liquidity, and you'd have a route right to PayPal.
Yes.
So you could have liquidation, you could have exits, off ramps right onto the PayPal system. So it'd be huge. So as soon as we get this launched, and there's a little bit of, MKUSD is not very big. It's about 150 million TVL, but they are willing to do something with them. So it'd be interesting to see if we could do the same for FXUSD. And
Yeah.
I think that Clever might be something that they might be interested, since they're looking for more voting power. I'm going to show them how to lever up their CVX, and see if they're interested.
Yes, exactly. We've had a lot of. I feel like this is not the first story where because we have the benefit of having people like you in our ecosystem who are kind of like active and like understand these things really well. It puts us in amazing places to have these kind of conversations, and then when we're ready with a product, you're kind of already known to them. That is amazing, CryptoVest.
Right. Exactly. So, and because we made that successful introduction to the Prisma team, I'm pretty sure they're going to be receptive to something, especially if Clever helps, with what they're trying to accomplish.
Yeah.
I'm sure they'll want to do a pairing with FXUSD. So it's going to be really exciting once this gets off the ground.
Man, I can just imagine like a button on the website that's like withdraw your FXUSD to PayPal.
Exactly.
Ooh.
You best believe that I'm going to be shilling it to them as soon as enough TVL and reasonable size. I'm going to be doing it. So if it can be done, it'll be done.
All right.
That's awesome, man. That is
that is like, that's 2 degrees of separation from using my FXUSD to buy stuff on eBay, which I think
exactly, which will give a ton of usage to FXUSD. A ton of usage right off the gate, right out of the gate. And I've already talked to Charlene about in case I need any additional help. I'm sure Kruger, you would help, and I know KMETS will too, in case there's like a question about Clever, or if I'm missing something, or if they need hand holding because they're looking to buy Clev CVX or whatever. I've got that all lined up in case I need additional help with them.
Yeah, that's amazing.
100% on board with that, man. That is a fantastic effort, and we certainly do appreciate you. educating those folks and trying to get it integrated. That's all.
Yeah,
I'll
I mean,
give a little bit of alpha too. I'm also talking to the guys at Athena too. So if I reach out to them and they're more receptive, then maybe we can even do something with them too. Trying to get PayPal and Athena together too on that.
yeah. Oh man,
Interesting.
it's.
Yeah.
I mean, and I hope for everybody who's listening, you gotta don't forget about CryptoVestor when it comes time to vote for boosters. Like,
Yeah.
Don't forget.
Has there ever been a boostery booster? I don't know. I mean, we've got some doozies.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Those are good, like Clever and FX boosting activities, man. That's awesome.
Yep.
That's
I
fantastic.
mean,
Absolutely.
those are top tier. But guys,
Top tier,
if you
yeah.
for people who are listening, you don't have to be CryptoVestor to participate in the booster program. You don't have to go out there and like make a new like partnership with a multi-billion-dollar organization. You could just make a great Twitter thread. That still works.
It's all good. It's all good information and publicity. We're just trying to educate the masses. Whatever we can do.
Right.
Whatever
Oh,
we can
amazing. Thank you, CryptoVestor,
Yep,
for all that and for the update. That is, man. And
I'll
it makes
keep you guys posted as it becomes more clear.
yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
Oh
amazing.
yeah, please do. I think everybody's would be pretty excited to hear about the developments on that. And
For sure. Okay.
Yeah.
Take care.
thanks, man.
Oh, so good, man. And the community keeps on producing, and they're all online, man. We got lots of friends here with us today. Let's keep rolling on
Okay.
on F of X. So we've got another. Okay, so this one I want to be careful that I deliver this one properly. There's another behind the scenes upgrade to rebalance pools required, which will not need migration. So the rebalance pools are getting a small upgrade to make their VEFXN boost shareable, which is of course a key requirement for being able to, for example, for Convex to be able to boost their farming pools with FXN. And so that upgrade is coming soon. That's an important sort of behind the scenes. We've got UI improvements coming. So watch out in the next few weeks to and maybe we'll roll something out on a testnet and get some feedback from you guys, you insiders here in the community call on what you think of the UI changes and any suggestions that you've got. We're gonna have hopefully some stuff to share with you on that before we make it live. I don't know. I'm kind of talking out my ass here. We'll see what Charlene thinks. But yeah, I mean the UI is coming. What else? What else, K-Mets?
Well, this is really cool, and this will be coming out here in Q1. Is we're going to be putting out a new concentrator compounder for XETH. And this is going to be pretty neat. You'll basically, be able to put an LP into a harvester, or just use the compounder itself, and earn your rewards in just straight XETH. And it's pretty exciting. So basically, you can have like an LP in some position and earn XETH rewards.
That's okay. So listen. Why is that huge? I think probably everybody online knows why it's huge, but like that's huge. XETH, the more that I'm, for me anyway, because everybody has their own way of how they want to play this, but I think that the way XETH works best for kind of the way that I operate in crypto is as a DCA target. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like it's all about continuing, because I don't know if you noticed, but you can snap up some XETH real cheap this morning.
Well, yeah, you sure can.
And but being able to, because of so XETH has this feature, I guess, of the variable leverage. The leverage can be high, the leverage can be low, and so as the price is changing, depending on how depending on how users are actually using it, if your leverage is higher, then the NAV will gain more or less as the price moves, obviously. And if the leverage is lower, the NAV will gain less as the price moves. But the key thing is that you don't know whether the leverage is going to be high for an up jump or a down jump. And over time, over time, I think it's most likely to even out. But over the short term, you know, if you go up with high leverage and down with low leverage, then the NAV is going to end up kind of higher than where it started for the same sort of ETH price movement, right? If ETH price goes back to the start, NAV would remain higher, and then vice versa. If the leverage is higher on the way down and lower on the way up, then the NAV will be lower than sort of before that V-shaped move, right? That's the nature of the variable leverage. But the key thing, I think, for me anyway, the way I use it is it means that dollar cost averaging into XETH is maybe the smartest way for me anyway, to use it. And that's essentially what this is. Talk about harvesting directly into XETH. You're getting you're buying XETH every time there's a harvest of the underlying LP. That's a set and forget XETH DCA, all based on your yields. That's pretty awesome.
Yeah, I think it's going to be pretty exciting. Probably a pretty popular compounder. So that'll be coming up here in the
And by the way, folks, if you have any specific harvesters you want to request for that compounder, let us know. I'm not sure what's planned for the initial rollout. I don't have, like I say, I kind of walked in off the street this morning. But definitely, if you've got some particular harvesters you want to see concentrating into XETH, something that you like a lot, then drop us a note in the Discord and let us know, because that's, you know, I would think we're gonna launch at least a couple of harvesters here, and maybe some of the higher yield ones would be a good choice to concentrate into XETH.
Oh man, that'd be so cool.
Cool.
So there you go. That's another thing off the list here.
Yeah. Now, I mean, next up, FXUSD. So this is, we kind of talked about this already. Huge efforts happening behind the scenes right now to get the technical work of FXUSD the way that we've kind of discussed it. You know, basically having the FNX pairs on the underlying LSDs. Basically, you know, being able to mint that stable FXUSD. To be clear, to be able to mint the $1 stable rebalance pool deposit, and then choose to be able to remove that $1 rebalance pool deposit as FXUSD, as we talked about in previous weeks and previous recordings. That's all going on. Got a little bit of extra sort of alpha to mention here. One of the things, one of the things that we have been talking about internally, and that I've really been thinking about personally, is the idea of the rebalance pool is that as long as you're in the rebalance pool, if the FNX pair ever gets to a vulnerable collateral ratio, then there's a chance that your stable token is redeemed for the underlying reserve token, right? Like that's how stability mode works. If you know, in XETH, or sorry, in FETH, if you put your FETH in the stability pool, or the rebalance pool, and we go into stability mode, then that FETH can turn into staked ETH, right? And so the fact that can quickly change to ETH, which is a great feature for bottom fishing, and a lot of people want that, it makes FETH in a rebalance pool, it makes it a little less certainly stable, right? Because it might become ETH, right? Again, overall, it's a very, very good thing, and it's a really useful tool. But what if you wanted to stay stable but still earn those rebalance pool yields? And so we have been kicking around an idea that's probably going to show up as a concentrator compounder. And the idea would be that we create an AFXUSD in concentrator that has that potentially has the unique ability to, if any of the underlying FXUSD in the rebalance pool gets liquidated into the reserve, that the compounder vault would automatically swap that for a stable behind the scenes. So basically, the compounder on concentrator would take your redeemed reserve, so whether it's STETH or SFRAX ETH or whatever, and it would move that into something stable, right? I mean, possibly even as simple as like a USDT. Now, obviously, that there's trade-offs there because you have to, there may be slippage on the way in. There shouldn't be for something that's super super deep, which is why we look at something like USDT. Obviously, there's some centralization risk that you add there, but it's really just like a pressure relief valve that protects the like USD value of your deposit in this concentrator. So the idea would be you can farm a rebalance pool with almost no risk of redemption.
Yeah. So as you can see, we've done a lot of thinking about FXUSD, and the possibilities are really exciting. And this is like what's so cool about the Aladdin ecosystem is like how the different components can really assist the other ones and amplify them and make them better. And this is one where concentrator and FX really have a lot of synergies, and so we can apply that to FXUSD, we think, in a way that will make it incredibly robust, very powerful, and also an excellent investment tool. So lots to look forward there. That'll be that's on the roadmap. So as we get closer and more details come into focus, we'll certainly let you guys know about it. So AFXUSD, it's in the works. So
it is, and Paul is getting rallied for Green here, and Green guys, I don't know if you remember, this is a Discord role. Sorry, I'm way off track. I'm following the text chat here. Before we do that, let's wrap this up. Yes, completely agree with you, K-Mets. Whatever you just said, I'm sure it was very insightful. My brain doesn't work very well for multiple things at a time, but the being able to like as you say, the ecosystem, we're really just starting to poke the corners of some of the ways that we can make this work, right? And one of the big things that again, like I was saying, I've been thinking of is with the rebalance pool is it how like farming a stable to earn a yield is unbelievable, but the rebalance pool forces you to take that risk that your stable might turn into ETH, right? If stability mode ever gets entered, you get redeemed back into ETH, which, like I say, if that's what you want, if that's your objective, that's amazing. It's like bottom fishing. It's, it's incredible. Mm-hmm. But I can imagine a class of user, particularly maybe on the like larger size user, on the institutional, more conservative user, that would be interested in those yields without taking the risk of direct price exposure to ETH. And so that becomes, that becomes maybe a really powerful option for some more serious money.
Yeah. So it's in the early stages of development. So we're still
obviously
working our way through it.
has to come in. We have to finish FXUSD and make sure the underlying is bulletproof. And of course, the underlying FXUSD would not take any kind of exposure at all to a non like where I mentioned USDT. That would be totally at the concentrator level, right? And by the way, if because we know how stability mode works, where some of that FXUSD may be redeemed for staked ETH in the background, we then suddenly have a little bit of USDT backing the compounder vault. And of course, the more USDT we have backing the compounder vault, the lower the if suddenly 10% of the total value in that vault had to go into USDT, it would cut the yield down on that vault by 10%. But we know that stability mode is a temporary situation, right? And when the leverage is high, there's generally more people looking to pick up XETH, and as more people pick up XETH, it opens up more room for more FXUSD to flow back in. And so the FXUSD vault on concentrator would then scale that USDT back into the rebalance pool as there is space for it.
Yeah. So there you go. That's
Love it.
That's worth tuning in today for.
That's alpha. That is absolutely alpha. And so again, that's something we're looking at. What else? I mean, we've got you know what? Farming pairs. We have the capability, and soon in 2024, I think Q1, we're going to start with rolling out the simple farming pairs. So I'm talking about like the one that's been talked about a lot. I don't know if it's confirmed that this is where we're going to start, but you know, the one that's been talked about a lot is CVX, FCVX, and XCVX.
Yeah,
and so to launch that as another great way to play that CVX bribe game ecosystem.
Yeah,
because it's not really the bribe game; it's more the staking yield. But still,
yeah,
which is huge now since they rejiggered things.
Yes, going to be very, very cool. So
more FFX pairs coming. And oh, sorry, I front ran you. Go.
No, that's exactly it. I was just the kind of like the last thing that we have to kind of mention for the roadmap for FX is just more FNX pairs. So surprise, surprise. We're not going to stop with just FX, FETH and FXUSD, and we're going to keep on keeping on. So
well, and I'll tell you what's maybe interesting here is that we're crafting this whole FXN Wars LSD narrative on the FXUSD side, right? We're giving anybody who's got an LSD that if we go through the process of onboarding it into actually never mind, you don't even have to onboard it into FXUSD anywhere across the F of X ecosystem. If you want to have that F and X pair for your token, you become a player in these FXN wars. And basically you have the ability to incentivize liquidity there. And so completely outside of the world of growing FXUSD, of the whole like big player LSDs fighting over liquidity, you've got actually what should be, and we'll talk more about this in future. We'll try to do some better analysis, but you've got what should be a really effective way for any token, any project token or DeFi token or whatever, to grow their on-chain liquidity, right? To grow their, to be able to pay some FXN incentives into their own rebalance pool and create a yield, create a way for people to farm that yield, and in doing so, filling up a reserve of that token and pulling that token, sort of either out of the market or basically giving you a much more productive way to incentivize on-chain liquidity, to bring that liquidity on-chain, and maybe even it'll be very interesting once we get this thing up and running. It'll be very interesting to look at liquidity costs, because as we've talked about before, one of the main ways to incentivize liquidity depth on chain is with a pool 2, which is very inefficient, right? Because half of what you're paying for is whatever you're paired with.
Yeah.
So being able to pay incentives to people who are holding just your token and enabling this F and X pair, so enabling the stable farming, enabling the leverage on your token all in one spot. Crazy. Yeah. Boz, will FXUSD enter bribe wars for future pairings? Yes. So basically FXUSD, if you recall, FXUSD will be based on specific FX pairs for LSD. So basically what we're going to do is we will limit, so for the risk management level, we're going to limit how much of the F tokens associated with each LSD can be withdrawn out as FXUSD, right? So and remembering the FXUSD is like the liquid version of the token, the one that can go out into the world. So there's no limit to how much farming you can do in an FNX pair. But for FXUSD, there'll be a limit to how much you can pull out as FXUSD out into the liquid world, right? So that's how we're going to manage the risk of FXUSD as a like liquid stablecoin. But every pair in F of X, from whether you're talking FNX CVX or any of the pairs that back FXUSD or any of the pairs that don't, they're all fighting over the same pile of FXN emissions. So basically, all of the sorry, I think I've completely misunderstood your question, Boz. Do you mean will FXUSD enter bribe orbs for future pairings with other stables? Do you think will we bribe for FXUSD? Yeah, sorry, man. Okay, I guess
there's
my brain doesn't.
The problem is there's so many layers, right? And there's a lot of different places to incentivize.
And the answer to that is maybe, but hopefully not. The magic of FXUSD is that the minting and redeeming is a way to swap in and out of it. You don't need to have that on-chain liquidity. That's why we've been going so nuts over all of the work that's been done to integrate F and X minting and redeeming into aggregators, right? And so you can swap in and out through these aggregators by minting, redeeming through the reserve token, and we don't have to pay those like inefficient 2-token incentive, right? Yeah, cow swap. I mean, it's just
yeah, cow swap. The DeFi llamas swap. Their meta aggregator. It's pretty great. You don't even need the front end really to interact with FX, and that's sort of like the ideal situation.
And so you get this like de facto on-chain liquidity without having to pay for it. Now, the reason that I say maybe is because, when CryptoVestor is talking about possible partnerships with, like PyUSD or other, basically we have the option, and the Aladdin ecosystem controls a pretty good amount of, of emission power in Curve ecosystem, and that's always growing every day. And so we certainly can do co-incentivized pools, exactly as CryptoVestor says. So like we have the ability to be able to do this stuff when it makes sense, and co-incentivized makes sense because if we split the liquidity costs with the other side of the pair, then it's a good deal for us again, right? Then it's back to a similar, then it's back. The cost is it's less than efficient.
Yeah.
So those are all options, but again, the magic of FFX is that we don't require it in order to be able to offer that liquidity.
Yeah. So a lot of possibilities. It's so cool. Fun system to really dive into.
Doesn't your head just spin? And boy, oh boy, there's more things we have to share with you guys, but we can't talk about them yet because they're just too. They're like the Greek letter that comes before alpha. Man, I don't even know what letter that would be. Is it omega again? Do you just go around the horn?
I have no idea. Yeah, probably something like that.
Yeah. Anyway, the omega leak. But no. Sorry, guys. I got nothing for you yet, other than to say, oof, it's delicious. It's delicious.
Yeah, we've got a fun 2024 lined up.
I think it's going to be our 2024. The world might be on fire, but Aladdin is going to be on fire.
Yeah,
right. Do you see what I did there?
We have lost our last drone here in the
Aladdin
community.
God. Yeah, no, it's in the shop, K-Mets. It's in the shop. I sent it back. Have a feeling I got the gimbal holder was destroyed and the arm holding one of the, anyway, it was a whole thing, but it's coming back.
All right. Yeah.
And the drone's coming back. Aladdin's back. Aladdin never crashed, so maybe this is a bad metaphor. But guys, 2024 is going to be big.
Yeah, we're going to have a good one, guys. It's going to be a fun year. I think, hopefully,
huge.
Hopefully it's just number go up from here,
Yeah. Yeah. Well, certainly from this morning, it seems like that could be the right, could be the right direction to go. That was,
we'll find out, right?
Let's see if any other obscure analysts make any other predictions and then that get picked up by like the block.
Or what's that tabloid, the Mirror or something?
The Daily, yeah, exactly, yeah. Or what's the one in the States that's always like reporting on like various alien abductions?
Oh, the Weekly World News.
The Weekly World, yeah.
Gosh, I haven't seen one of those in forever.
No,
Oh,
do they
boy.
still even have those? I don't spend a lot of time
I
at the
don't
grocery
know.
store.
I don't even know.
I do
haven't looked.
remember seeing a lot of those. I think that I feel like their Photoshop skills were maybe superseded by just the reality of by children, I think, but and then also AI. So
Yeah.
maybe that was
Yeah. What's going?
okay. We can do the same for ASD Curve, talking about the stable coin paying vault. For Y curve. Oh. No, I'm not. I'm not familiar with that. What are we
Yeah,
talking
I'm not.
about here?
Yeah, I'm not. Maybe you can like ping us or something and let us
Yeah, or
kind of know.
I mean, drop it into chat here if you want to. Yeah, send it to us and we'll take a look. But a stable coin paying vault. I mean, in a way, that's what this AFXUSD is. Although it's also it's stable. You hold stables and earn stables. Right, because that would be the other thing about AFXUSD, which I didn't mention, is that you're obviously then because it's compounding, your ETH staking yields come in as stables. I probably should have mentioned that because that's a big factor too. But like it's auto compounding FXUSD, so as all those harvests happen, it gets compounded back into more FXUSD, and continues to. So it becomes a completely non volatile a farming vault that is stable, earning stables.
Yeah. Okay, I see.
Pure stability. By the way, bonus points for anybody in the community who can take the Willy Wonka song "Pure Imagination" and adapt it for this vault about pure stabilization. So come with me and you'll see.
That's pretty good, man. That's pretty good.
Yeah, I got to work on that, obviously. But
Gene Wilder, what a
yeah,
treasure! What a
yeah,
treasure.
he is. He's our guy, man. He's our guy.
All right.
Is he okay? Yep, gentlemen and ladies and non-specific internet. I was gonna internet avatars of what do we got? Various abstract. There's even one guy in here that I see that's got like the logo of an incredibly obscure sports team that doesn't even exist anymore. So,
he's probably a cool dude. So.
You know, he might be.
All right, gang. That's all we got for you this week.
Have an awesome week. And once again, we apologize. And boy. Somebody went straight to ChatGPT.
Damn, that was fast.
Oh, yeah, that works. Oh, damn.
Man.
Imagination.
That's incredible.
Oh, my God.
You get two more wishes. You get 2 more wishes.
That's okay.
Pretty good. Pretty good, sir.
Son of a gun. That is amazing. Stark, you were thinking.
Yeah, well done. Well done.
Man, all right. Now we gotta. Okay, so obviously that was too easy of a challenge for the community. Let's have AI actually incorporate that and generate, because that's doable, right? I think you can generate
like a
audio
movie
from
scene?
that.
Or the audio.
Okay, let's start at the. Just start with the audio. Let's just do the audio. Yeah. But let's see if we can do that. And let's have that for next. Let's have that for next week.
For next week's karaoke round, sounds good.
For next week's karaoke, yeah, we'll do like a whole Aladdin community sing along. It's gonna be
a blast.
Horrible.
All right, guys, take it easy. Have a good one.
See ya.
See you around. Bye.
Bye.